Good morning, hello, and welcome to Morning Brew on Politics Social. I am Graham Hughes. Nice to have you with us this morning. It is Wednesday, the 31st of December 2025. It is the last day of the year. Big shout out to everyone in the chat. We've got Yuri Infect there. We've got Yuri Infectinov. We've got Diz. We've got Viper Scott. We've got anyone who's not a mod. We've got C Dizzy Dizzle. Hey, C Dizzy Dizzle. How you doing? Who I got to meet in real life this year. We've got Gillian Hope. We've got Sid. We have got Saz. We've got Francis in there. Colin Baker, got Sarah, who did very well in the quiz last night, winning the quiz again. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. If you would like to join in with the chat and you're watching this live, all you need to do is hit the subscribe button and wait for approximately 1 minute, and you'll be not just subscribed, but you'll be able to enter the chat and say things at us, which I think might be fun. I don't know. Apologies for being late this morning. I was all ready to go again, 9 o'clock, and then my camera just froze, and then I disconnected it and plugged it in again, and it takes about 20 seconds to sort of get back on its feet, and then it wasn't working, and then and I ended up resetting my laptop. So again, as I'm not actually staying in this house, I'm actually traveling from across Liverpool in the morning, getting up at 7 in the holidays, so I can be here for the show at 9 o'clock. I'm all ready to go, done the thumbnail, I've written up all the blurb, everything's ready to go, and then I press, let's go, and it goes, no, the camera's not going to work. Also, this bloody light up here, I know you can't see it, but there's a light there, and it runs off a USB-C cable, and the cable wouldn't plug in. I don't know if there's some fluff in the cable end. Never good having fluff in your end, but I did just wouldn't plug in. These things are sent to testicles. I mean testos. Okay, so no runners up mug, says Yuri. Well, maybe. Well, I'll think about it. I will consider it. Yuri, do you have a copy of Man of the World by any chance, Yuri? Let me know if you have. If not, I might be willing to send you one for doing so well in the quiz last night. You kind of stopped, Yuri. I mean, but the last 20 questions, you went on the ball. What happened? What happened? I think Yuri went out to walk the dog or something. Okay, so today we're going to talk about what went right in 2025. And I don't mean right wing. I don't mean like, the BBC. Going all right wing in its old age. No, what I want to talk about today is the fact that, this year that it was announced that 16 and 17-year-olds will get the vote in the next general election. It's a good bit of news. Workers' rights and renters' rights, a big increase in those. Increase in hello, can I have you? Sorry, my mum's just nosing. She's looking for something. Sorry, very distracting, mother. It's all right. Viper Scott says it's all right. Graham, wish one angry pagan a happy birthday. Well, okay. Now that you told me that I have to do that, I will have to do that. But I'd like to do it anyway. So here you go. Off my own back. Thank you to Viper Scott for the super chat, and to one angry pagan. I would like to say happy birthday, and I'll give you special birthday confetti. Yay, birthday confetti for one angry pagan. That's quite cool to be born on the last day of the year. I was born on the last day of the Roman calendar, February the 28th, which didn't actually exist as a date. January and February didn't exist to the Romans. The year started after a 2-month hibernation period on March the 1st. But yeah, that'd be really cool. It must be cool having your birthday. I've got another friend who's got a birthday today. And, everyone's always up for a party on New Year, aren't they? So, that's a good thing. David Faulkner, thank you very much for the 38 Hong Kong dollars. Good morning from Jilin Province on the border with North Korea. Woo! Temperature minus 15 degrees Celsius. Looking forward to the New Year's celebrations. Well, wrap up warm, my friend. I don't want you getting frostbite in those freezing temperatures. It goes down to like -1 here and everyone starts freaking out. But, out where you are, it's like, that's just Tuesday. Okay, Graham, as I've got your book and Mike's thanks to Darian to star. Can I repay the amazing kind? Get act by Darian and give him the prize, though the mug would be great. Okay, Sarah. I'll try and sort some stuff out for you for the quiz thing. I'm on it. Okay, so before we go on, I'm gonna add a goal, aren't I? I'm gonna do it. Yeah, come on, it's the last one of the year. It's the last show of the year. You got 1 hour for NYE Confetti. And let me know in the chat as we're going through what you're up to tonight. Don't feel too bad if you're just staying in and watching, Jules Holland. See, that's my universal symbol for Jules Holland, because that's what I think I'm going to be doing. It's going to be staying in and watching Jules Holland. Back in my younger days, I'd be running around. You know what I mean? I'll be going to Egypt. I'll be going to Morocco. I'll be going to Australia. I'll be going to, I don't know, Argentina. I'll be going somewhere from a big New Year's Eve knees up. A New Year's knees up. That doesn't work, doesn't really. But yeah, this year I'm being really old. I'm being really old. I'm just staying in and watching Jules Holland on the telly. Yes. Okay. So we'll move on. So there were a few good things that happened in politics. Obviously, a lot of shit happened, but we're not going to dwell on that today. We will talk about it in the new year, I'm sure. So yeah, this is the first, when we talk about 16 and 17-year-olds being able to vote, this is the first franchise expansion since 1969, when the voting age was lowered to 18, which I think is a good thing, because young people are more likely to vote for things that affect their future, because they've got a lot of time, they've got a lot of future to live. There's a lot of old people, not all boomers, clearly, but a lot of them who have a very shitty attitude. They've got they're lazy bastards with shitty attitudes. They can't be asked thinking for themselves. They've been retired for 30 years on a final salary pension, just sitting there living the high life, earning more than I do, working every day. They don't do anything. They just sit around on the couch and they can't even be bothered thinking for themselves. So they get Rupert Murdoch to do all the thinking for them. Their opinions are formed by dickheads, privately educated dickheads that they read in the newspapers and see on the media and the social media. However, younger people have not had all that drip feed of poison in their brains over the last 50 years or so. So they're kind of a little bit immune to the bullshit that's out there. Not all of them. Obviously, we do have a problem with young men at the moment, in particular, going into the toxic manosphere. And people have debates on what we should do about it. But I do welcome, overall, I welcome the addition of 16 and 17-year-olds into the voting public. Because don't forget, it doesn't mean that all 16-year-olds are going to get to vote in any given year, because we only have a general election every 5 years. So if your birthday just happens to fall at an inconvenient time, you might be 20 or even 21 years old before you can vote. In fact, in the system as it is now, you might be 22 or 23 before you get to vote for the first time. Yeah, that's not great, is it? No. Bringing down the voting age also brings down the age at which you first vote. I was very lucky. I got to vote for the first time in 1997 when I was 18, and we managed to get rid of a Tory government that had been in place for 18 years at that point. I like to take credit for that, because obviously it was all down to me and not the millions of other people who voted for Labour in 1997. Martin Harrow, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. That's very kind of you. Happy New Year, everyone. I'll be home staying warm. Yeah, I'll be under a big blanket, I think, watching Stranger Things, probably. Staying in as January makes my mental health worse, says Sarah, so I find it hard to celebrate New Year's, have a difficult time ahead. That's fair enough, Sarah, and also it's bloody cold. It's bloody cold, and it's probably going to be wet and miserable, I don't know. Al says, doesn't matter who, someone DM'd me, can I ask you a question? That may as well be it. I mean, I won't know what it is until I'm asked. Probably wait wondering for 24 hours plus. Can I ask a question? Yeah, you just did. You just did. Anyway, so moving on. So we've had some good news stories. Let's go through the good news stories. There was a home kitchen restaurant staffed by people who had experienced homelessness that was opened in London as a non-profit fine dining restaurant. Nearly all the staff have lived the experience of homelessness, and it gives paid employment, training and stability instead of temporary charity, and it challenges the stigma of homelessness, and shows sustainable social enterprise can actually scale, which is wonderful. There was a statue unveiled in London celebrating the unseen strength of mothers, which is pretty cool. Also, the former far-right leader, Nigel Bromage, which is very close to Nigel Farage, Nigel Bromage, he was a member of Combat 18, called so because the first and the eighth letters of the alphabet are AH, as in Adolf Hitler. Yeah, that's why Combat 18 is called Combat 18. He now runs a group called Small Steps, which is helping others leave extremism. And I think this is an important sort of counter-narrative in a year where far-right movements have gained global momentum, as seen by, what's his name, that horrible man, Elon Musk, doing a Hitler salute. Yeah. Sorry, it needs to do some... Excuse me, I know my mic went off then. Well, it should have gone off, I don't know. If it didn't go off, I apologise. For all the swears. Also, there's a scheme that's been set up in Shropshire where you can borrow outfits from your local library. People borrow outfits like books, reducing fashion waste and also cost. And this is a direct alternative to fast fashion culture. And this is being run in Shropshire, but it's something that could be, copy and pasted around the country, which is kind of cool. And there was also news that the practical guides on meaningful conversations have been spreading online, widely shared before Christmas family gatherings. People are actively searching for ways to avoid shallow small talk and to rebuild connections that have been severed or lost in the last few years as a result of Brexit and Trump and the Tories and Nigel Farage and all that shit. On the environment front, okay, things are pretty bad when you look at the fact that Trump is now in the White House, in the pocket of Saudi Arabia and the rest of the filthy oil baron bastards that run this planet, the ones who fund all the transphobia. Yeah, same people, same fuckers. The ones who dig out that dirty slime from the ground and then burn it and then wonder why everything is dying. But renewable energy this year overtook coal as the world's biggest energy source, driven by India and China. Massively ramping up their solar and wind capacity. This is seen renewables replacing the fossil fuel generation, despite the death rattle of the fossil fuel scum, who continue to need money, desperately need money, more than we need, oxygen, more than we need water. They need more money, even though these fuckers are all billionaires, but they need more money. So why not, pick on trans people and destroy the planet? Hey, so, but yeah, the renewables also met the global growth in electricity demand, which has been not just because more people are coming online in terms of electricity, but also because of these data centers that we've got set up for all the AI that we're using at the moment. So, we good and bad, but a lot of these data centers, like the ones that have been set up down in, oh God, is it Nashville? Is it Nashville, Tennessee, where they've built some that shitbag? What's his name? Elon Musk. He's built a data center that runs off gas generators, and it's just making everyone around it sick. Everyone who lives anywhere near it is getting sick from all the pollutants that is pumping out. Yeah, this is the guy who was wanted everyone to drive an electric car. Yeah, and everyone thought he was a big greenie, but he wasn't. He was a big greedy. You see what the difference is there? And also he's the guy who came up with the Hyperloop bullshit, which was bullshit from top to bottom, left to right. Anyone could see it who had a cursory knowledge of how things work. And he used that as a way of defunding high-speed rail in America so that people buy cars instead. Yeah, he's not a goodie. Bison. were reintroduced to Yellowstone National Park, and they restored grazing patterns that revived native plants there, waterways, and dependent species. And these are massive, measurable ecosystem benefits, and it shows that rewilding actually works. There's a real good case study this of the reintroduction of bison in the Yellowstone National Park, or Jellystone National Park as we like to call it, fans of Yogi Bear. Talking to fans of Yogi Bear, we've got Yuri Infectinov. Hello Yuri, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Happy New Year to you and the family, Graham. Yourself, Aidan Tan, have made life more bearable, and the community here rocks. Thank you Yuri, thank you. Hopefully me, Aidan and Tan are going to be along on Friday for the blankety blank style quiz that I was going to do yesterday, but everyone's like not feeling so good or couldn't make it. Graham, that's disgusting. Joking, Mike went mute. Just watched a video about the wall Ukraine had built along the Russian border. Couldn't tell if it was AI, but it was saying Russia is pretty much fucked. Well, I don't know about any kind of wall. That might be AI, but yeah, the Russian economy. Looking forward to 2026. It's coming up against headwinds. This is the thing with like Trump. He is trying to push water uphill in a lot of sense. He's trying to go up against democracy in America, where people are quite fond of their democracy. It's not North Korea, where people haven't had experience of freedom, and so it's easier to take that freedom away from them, or curtail their freedoms even more, because they've never known freedom, so they don't know what they're missing out on. If I hadn't seen such riches, I could live with being poor. He's trying to take out the whole issue with renewables. He wants to destroy the renewable revolution, but he can't, because India and China are driving it. Here in the UK, we've just heard a load of new measures that have come from Ed Miliband, saying they're going to be giving subsidies to houses again for things like heat pumps and solar panels in people's homes and insulation, in order to drive down bills and allow people to make their own power, which is fantastic. I mean, a world in which nearly everyone's making their own power would be a bloody good one to live in. And thank you very much. And I love the idea of energy sovereignty for the nation, so we're not reliant on foreign countries and foreign dictatorships, tin pot dictatorships like that place in the northern wastes of Asia. What's it called? Rushing about. I don't know. Anyway, that place. I don't have to be dependent on them for the price of our heating and our getting around in our cars or on our public transport. That shouldn't be dependent on which mad dictator wants to go and invade their neighbour. I don't think. But also, how about some individual sovereignty when it comes to energy? Individual energy sovereignty. That's what I've got over in Panama. I've got solar panels. It's great. But yeah, so that he's trying to go up against that. I think he's going to find it very, very difficult to get anywhere with that. And also, I mean, he's trying to go. He's trying to not just trying to stop the green revolution, which he's not going to stop because capitalism says no. Capitalism is saying no. Without state intervention, the oil companies are going to fail. They get these massive subsidies, don't they? They're basically a social enterprise, the oil companies, as we see in Norway. But the reality is that we are leaving fossil fuels behind because we've got better, cleaner, cheaper and more effective ways of doing it. Also, his attitude on Russia, on Ukraine, he's pushing water uphill because Russia is a failed state. I was going to say failing. I think it's a failed state at this point. Very much so. Look at the income per capita. It's half of sweet FA. So, there's a lot of things, a lot of reasons to be sort of cheerful that Trump is trying to do this stuff in America, and he's failing so badly. And I think that the Republicans are going to get absolutely hammered in the midterm elections if they go ahead. And if he tries to stop them going ahead, I do think there's going to be a lot of kickback. I do think that the American people are getting a bit sick of all this now. But they voted for it. They voted for the demolition of the White House. Those new pictures that have come out of the absolute devastation to the right-hand side of the White House. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. Finishing the job of Osama bin Laden. because that's what Osama bin Laden wanted to do. He wanted to destroy the two towers, the World Trade Center, New York. He wanted to take out the Pentagon, and he wanted to, or at least crash a plane into the Pentagon. He wanted to crash a plane into the White House. And if you look at the devastation that has been wrought by Trump on the White House, just looking at it, it's completely demolished on the east side of the building. It is horrific, and they haven't even got a plan. They haven't got a proper architect working on what's going to be built there in its place. I saw a really annoying article that pissed me off the other day, going, Trump likes neoclassical. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. Oh, he hates brutalism because that's a democratic method of building. No, it's not. Okay, right. There's nothing democratic about brutalism. It is made by posh fascists from white, posh, male fascists from Europe. That's who designed brutalism. That's who came up with it. Not the hoi polloi like us. Do you know what I mean? It was people like Goldfinger who went to fucking Eton or somewhere. Do you know what I mean? Like saying it's a democratization of building. It's absolutely not. And they had this article about how Trump he hates brutalism. And it was just an excuse. It's like whenever you talk about how ugly modern buildings are, someone always goes, "Oh, Prince Charles." Now they're going to go, "Oh, Donald Trump, you sound like Donald Trump." It's like, fuck off. Donald Trump doesn't like neoclassicism. Is that right? No, that's not the right word. He doesn't like neoclassical architecture. He likes Rococo architecture. That's the particular type of shit that he likes. He likes squeezing his Rococo shite, which is from the Palace of Versailles under the Sun King of Louis XIV. He likes trying to cram that into a neoclassical building, which makes no sense and doesn't work and never will work. He has no taste. He has no understanding of architecture, of space, of context, of continuity, or anything like that. And you can see these people who never have to look at these brutalist eyesores, apart from when they design them, I guess. They live in a nice little village in the Cotswolds, all of them, and they go, or they live at the top of the eyesore so they can look out from their eyesore on the little people like us below them. But they don't have to look at them and get depressed like I do when I see these bloody things. But I get even more depressed when I see buildings that are fine being demolished, like what's happened with the White House, or when the Liverpool Sailors Home, which was taken out before I was born, but it still irks me. There's a picture of it on a plaque where it used to be, which is now, I don't know, Marks and Spencer's. Is it Debenhams or Marks and Spencer's? What? Marks and Spencer's now in it. And Veg Pie says, "I've liked brutalism since I sang in the massed school choir at the festival hall as a kid. I can't stand it, Veg Pie. I absolutely hate it with every fibre of my being. I feel like I'm in a car park. Mount Pleasant car park, ironically named because it's very unpleasant in Liverpool, is just such a great example of how I feel when I'm in a brutalist building, whether it is in the National Theatre, the South Bank, the Sydney Opera House. Fucking hate it. It's rubbish. Why? Because it says nothing to me about the culture of the place. There's nothing local about it. The Sydney Opera House was designed by a Dane in Australia. Federation Square, which looks like a crumpled up shed that's been dropped from a very big helicopter. Designed to celebrate 100 years of Australian Federation. 100 years of Australian independence from the British. And who do they get to design their magnum opus in Melbourne to celebrate 100 years of independence from the British? The British! Yes, it was a London design company that designed that. It's like, when you look at like the buildings in Dubai, very few of them have anything to say about the people or the culture of Dubai or the Emirates or the Arabian Peninsula as a whole. That the Sale building there, that was designed by London architects. The Burj Khalifa itself was based on a design by Frank Lloyd Wright, who was American. Like it's more like Las Vegas. It's Las Vegas of the Arabian Peninsula. But yeah, I really do despair about brutalist architecture. It makes me feel very sad. And if you want to see a fine example of right-wing people doing the old brutalism, go over to Google, type in Nazi submarine base France, and you'll see this wonderful structure over the water. It's lovely. And by that, I mean it's horrible. But yeah, anyway, so moving on. Can we use heat from data centers to heat homes? Yeah, we probably could. Or we could just not have the data centers because we don't need them. It's entirely unnecessary. And most of the data is not being used to go through medical records to try and find out a link between a cure, or find a cure, or find a common denominator amongst different ailments. It's not being used for that. Most of the processing power is being made to make AI slop videos. Stop it. Just stop with the AI slop videos. We don't need them. We do not need them. About 1967. Yeah. It's just also, I'm not going to go off on one about brutalism, but it's just lazy. It's just lazy architecture. It is literally, you make a form and you fill the form with slop, and it solidifies. If AI could make its own buildings, if robots could make their own buildings, they'll make something akin to brutalism. Functional, not beautiful. And I'm sorry, but life's too short to be functional. It's the little things in life that give joy. And and big, thick walls of concrete with no freaking windows, no natural light, sick building syndrome, Legionnaire's disease coming out of every fucking air conditioning unit, asbestos on every wall, like poison. These buildings are made of poison. And then you've got the age-old problem with flats, especially in this country, that you've got to pay in, haven't you? You've got to pay into the maintenance of the flats, and people who haven't got enough money to buy a house, so they buy a flat, are being absolutely trapped. It's the old Vimes Boots index, isn't it? Again, if you haven't got enough money to buy a house, you buy a flat, and then suddenly you are beholden to the management company that run those flats. If someone else in that block of flats decide they're gonna, I don't know, keep cockroaches as pets, you're the one who's going to have to deal with those issues. If someone decides to kick in the front door, you're going to have to deal with it collectively. So the lift stops working, you're going to have to pay for that shit one way or another, usually through the management companies that absolutely take the piss. And there's also people who are trapped, who they need the cladding, the bloody cladding on the outside of the building that will go up like a Roman candle if anyone suggests a flame at it. They're trapped because they can't sell. They can't afford to pay the amount that they need to fix the building because it's a collective thing. And also they can't sell the place because no one wants to buy it with this particular cladding on it. It's grim. It's gruesome. It's the way that the rich lord it over the little people, because they don't have to live in these places. They live in lordly manors or something. I don't know. They've all got their own front door. Ms. Paula Thomas, thank you very much for the £5 super chat. Trump doesn't care what architecture is. He just cares whether his name is on the building. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Paula. And also, his towers are fucking ugly as fuck. So, I mean, the idea that he's into neoclassical architecture, he's really not. Someone just showed him a picture and went, here you go, mate. This could be an amazing ballroom. And he's gone, oh, yeah, great. Okay, cool. I've always associated brutalist with the Soviet Union. Is that fair, or am I getting my architecture mixed up? No, they're very much functional. Big, thick concrete forms that will survive a nuclear blast, because everyone thought in the 60s they were all going to get blown up. Tower block after tower block, all looking the same. Copy and paste architecture. Also Nazis, like I said, have a look. I know they say, oh, well, they like the neoclassical stuff, those fascists. It's like, well, if you look at what a lot of the stuff they built, it was very much out of concrete during the war. Architects may come and architects may go, and never change your point of view. Thank you, Paul Simon. Well, I mean, I do think that all the decent architects were wiped out in World War II. That's my opinion on it anyway. Last great sort of architectural design for me was the Art Deco period of the 20s and 30s. After that, I mean, I did like a bit of the modernism in the 1950s. Airports and things that were built then can look quite cool. But then the wheels came off in the 60s. Oh, my God. And the 70s and the 80s, the 90s, the shit they built. Oh, bloody hell. Makes me feel ill. Anyway, I bought a flat years ago. Management costs quadruples for no apparent reason. 3 years in, it sold it 400% profit after 5 years. So all good in the end. Well, I'm glad you got to sell it, Martin. But there's a lot of people who have the same issues as you, with management costs quadrupling. Something that people who own their own houses with their own front door don't have to worry about. They don't have to worry about the issues that come with shared living and the expenses that come with shared living as well. But yes, I associate brutalism with white men demanding that a particular style is dumped everywhere, all over the world. And it's never for like the elites. They get to design whatever get someone to design whatever they want. It's always for the rest of us. It's like, here you go. It's utilitarian. It's a machine for living in. No, a machine for dying in, mate. But yeah, I have my own issues with that. Anyway, I'm supposed to be talking about good news stories. See, this is me, ADHD, getting distracted. Where was I? Bison. There's also been a project in the UK. In the rainforest restoration, a UK project for UK's largest woodland conservation charity has used drones to drop tree seeds into hard-to-reach areas, speeding up reforestation, and technology solving the labour and access bottlenecks in restoration projects, which is really good news. Also, volunteers have been removing what they call ghost nets from the UK seas. This is up in Scotland, so that divers have been clearing abandoned fishing gear off the coast. For pound, the biggest weight of plastics in the ocean is discarded fishing gear, followed by filter tips and cigarettes in our oceans. And these discarded nets can kill marine life for years if left untouched. And ghost gear removal is one of the most effective hands-on interventions for coastal ecosystems. And talking about coastal ecosystems, Europe's largest oyster reef is coming to Norfolk. 4 million native oysters to be introduced off the Norfolk coast. These oysters, they filter water, they boost biodiversity and protect coasts. They are very much a model for marine restoration across Europe. And meanwhile, deforestation rates fell, rivers were revitalised, species recovered. Global snapshots of what went right. We have seen lower deforestation rates in 2025. And more species moving away from extinction lists. And this is the payoff from long-term habitat protection around the world. So no matter how much the oil barons, the slimy, filthy oil barons, want to destroy everything because they're scum, because they're bloody Baron Harkonnens, there are people fighting the good fight. Meanwhile, talking of oil and fighting the good fight, self-healing asphalt has been introduced to fix potholes in the UK. These are embedded road surfaces embedded with plant-based spores containing recycled oils, and when cars compress the surface, oils seep out, sealing the cracks, and they have the potential to reduce the need for pothole repairs. It's not quite, like there's a pothole and then suddenly all this sludge comes in and fills it up. But it will hope to bring down maintenance budgets and also emissions from roadworks, emissions from fireworks as well. Fireworks have been banned in the city of New Delhi in India as a result of the horrifically toxic smog that they don't enjoy. So Diwali this year, there was a ban on fireworks, although a lot of people set off fireworks anyway. We're going to have a new GCSE apparently, natural history. GCSE has been approved, giving young people practical knowledge of the natural world, teaching identification, habitat and ecology, and it's turning sort of abstract save nature messages into actual tangible understanding of what actually needs saving. So that's kind of cool. And also, as a fan of natural history, as a fan of David Attenborough and Charles Darwin and others, I think this is fantastic news. Also, there is a new project to give to save discarded musical instruments from landfill, probably put there by posh people who buy them for their posh kids. Oh no, actually, when I say they buy them, our government subsidises the trombones of the children of billionaires. Yeah, that actually happens. The violins, the pianos, the harpsichords, the guitars, the Spanish guitars, the electric guitars, whatever they want, the theremins, whatever they want to play in school, they usually get a bit of a subsidy from the taxpayer in their private schools to pay for it. This is why I keep saying that, these kids who go to private school, they actually cost the taxpayer fuckloads more than kids who go to state school, because we don't get subsidies on our bloody stuff that instruments that we buy. So these discarded instruments have been saved from landfill, and they are being given to teenagers who otherwise couldn't afford them, and it's improving both music education and protecting craftsmanship, which is good, because that's a thing that getting away from this culture of just throwing stuff away when it can be repaired. Also, we've got breakthroughs to do with treating previously untreatable diseases. We've seen advances in gene editing and targeted therapies that show promise against conditions that have long been seen as incurable. It's early stage, but this is a year when multiple breakthroughs happened, which is fantastic news. And also, the use of AI for medical research has really taken off at a new level, which is also good news as well. In terms of sport this year, England won the UEFA Women's Euro 2025, the most watched women's football game ever in the UK. 12.2 million viewers watched live on the BBC as England beat Spain on penalties, the first time England has retained a major title. And it made Serena Wigman and Leah Williamson household names, and it created a confidence ripple through grassroots girls football. Meanwhile, over on the rugby side of things, the Red Roses won the Rugby World Cup in Twickenham in front of 81,000 fans, the biggest crowd ever for women's rugby. England beat Canada 33-13, and captain Zoe Aldcroft led the side to a home victory. So that was fantastic news. Also, Luke Littler became the youngest world darts player ever at the age of 17. Which is quite impressive. And meanwhile, a woman called, a girl called Bodhana Sivanundan became the youngest women's international master in chess at the age of 10. 10! Wow. The title sits one step below Grandmaster and is held for life. How amazing is that? She's 10 years old. Meanwhile, Taylor Swift finally got to own her own music again. Yes, she brought back her master recordings of her first 6 albums of the 12 that she's made, ending a dispute dating back to 2019 when they were all sold off to a hedge fund against her will. Meanwhile, she also announced her engagement to Travis Kelce, who plays American football, telling people your English teacher and your maths and your gym teacher are getting married, and that got 37.6 million likes on that particular Instagram post. She also released her 12th studio album, Life of a Showgirl, and it was described as a victory lap. After reclaiming the artistic ownership of her songs. Pretty good album, gotta say, good album. Fate of Ophelia, fantastic song, although, her understanding of Shakespeare might be a little bit dicey, but I don't care. There is a song on there about Travis Kelce's manhood, and you're like, I didn't need that, Taylor, but, thanks anyway. Also, there's new research that has shown that viewing art reduces stress and inflammation. So there's evidence that cultural experiences improve mental and physical health. To take us back to the brutalist eyesores of the 1960s and 70s that litter our cities, I think the reverse is true as well. So whereas if I go to an art gallery and I see some beautiful art, some really amazing pieces, one of my favourite art galleries in the world is the Lady Lever Art Gallery in Port Sunlight here in Merseyside, and on the other side of the water, that puts me in a good mood. But then I'll go into Birkenhead and see some shite that they've built, and that'll put me in a bad mood. And particularly Mount Pleasant in Liverpool. If I could do the thing in SimCity where you paid $1 and you had like a little bulldozer and you just pressed it once and then it got rid of the whole complex, the whole nuclear power station and whatever it is that you built in SimCity, I would absolutely do that to Mount Pleasant, the 051 complex and Mount Pleasant car park. It needs to go. It is so horrible. It is so dirty. It is so grim. There's an old pub called Dickie Lewis's that's been burnt out. It's covered in litter, graffiti. It stinks of piss. Like the whole building just hums of piss. It's just such a grim experience. Cheap parking though. It's only £6 for the entire day, which is nice. But apart from that, I mean, Jesus Christ. Gillian Hope, thanks for your informative, educational and passionate broadcasts in 2025. Oh, thank you very much, Gillian. That is very, very kind of you. We've got 4 out of 10 super chats come in. You've got 25 minutes to get another 6 in, and we will get confetti, and that will make Diz very happy, I'm sure. Meanwhile, practical creativity guides gained real traction this year on the internet, and people seem to want to make things again, which is fantastic news, because I honestly believe, and I know that some of you might think I'm naive in saying this, but, you know, I like to keep a little bit of worldly cynicism about stuff in general. But I do believe that the AI revolution, first of all, I don't think it's going to be as encompassing as some people think. I don't think it's going to be destroying all the jobs in the world because we'll get little helpful robots that get everything wrong to do it instead. What I do think, it's going to increase the value of human-made stuff. Because all the slop has always been there. Elevator music, you know, music just made on someone's PC or you know, the really cheap artwork that just no one's really spent any time on and just put together using Photoshop or something. That's always been there. Whereas now I think that all that kind of stuff, all the cheap, trashy plastic noise, that's all going to get made by AI, and I think that it's human nature to sort of feel eventual revulsion at that, and there will be a kickback where people will give more credit, credence, and hopefully money to people who actually do stuff themselves, human-made stuff. I'm not saying they can't use a computer to aid them doing that stuff, but what I'm saying is they're not just typing in a prompt, vibe coding, in order to get the result they want. Happy New Year, everyone, from Sarah Davis. Oh, thank you, Sarah. That is very kind of you. £2 super chat there. I should make the super chat thing going. Woohoo! Yay, super chat. So yes, what else have we got here? We've got tech. We've got tech. The focus here, the smartphone-free childhood movement has become mainstream. This started in the UK, apparently. There was a viral post by someone called Daisy Greenwell. Began a culture-shifting campaign. Schools and parents to begin rolling back smartphone access in childhood for well-being and attention, which I completely agree with. And also, digital well-being is now being reframed as a skill, whereas, you know, the showing this pushback against what they've called the attention economy, you know, grabbing your attention, has led to actionable guides showing focus is trainable, not just wishful thinking. So when it comes to AI and how much it's changed things in the last year, I don't think it's changed very much. I was using AI to help with my notes before I do these shows last year. I was using it more last year, I think, because I was using AI to create the backgrounds for my thumbnails, and I stopped doing that because it looks shit. And I just went, oh fuck it, I'll just use my own. I'll just do my own thing. I get a mishmash of various pictures that I've cribbed off the internet. But I can't see it being all encompassing. I don't think it's going to take over the world, and I have quite a positive feeling about that. One of the things I do worry about, though, in terms of AI, is both the economic bubble bursting and also and affecting all of us, but also these data centers, which I just think are ridiculous. I think they're just absolutely ridiculous. Meanwhile, Saz has dropped £2 in the super chat fund. Thank you very much. Some more good news, and also Sid and Saz. Thank you very much, Sid, saying I hope 2026 is less shit for all. I do as well, Sid. Fingers crossed. Maybe next year we might get the big beautiful day. What do you think? What do you think about that, eh? Could be nice. Liz Allen, thank you very much for the $5. Hippo New Deer Confetti. Thank you very much for that. And Yuri says, no, I don't have a copy of your book. Well, I'll try and sort that out for you. You're in effect enough. If you want to get in touch via grahamdavidhughes.com and send me a message, and it will come through to my email. And get in touch with me. Oh, Pineapple Boy. Hey, hello, Pineapple Boy. I haven't seen you for ages. How you doing, mate? When's the bubble going to pop? Well, I'll have to do a whole episode on this, I think, about the bubble popping when it comes to the AI bubble. Because it's not like the dot-com bubble. And it's not really like the 2008 credit crunch bubble. It was slightly different because the companies backing this AI technology have actually got loads of money. They're not borrowing against an idea. They're borrowing against the stuff they've already got. So I don't know. It's going to be a bit weird, I think. But yeah. Oh, wow. We've done it. Thank you very much to Mr. Tisk. Here's to a better 2026. Thank you very much for being a member for 4 months. That is very cool. We've also got a super chat from Viper Scott. Thank you, Alistair, for the £2 there. For Dizz's Confetti Fix. And thank you very much. And you're in effect enough. Thank you very much for the £2 super chat. Hoppy Newt Beer to all. Oh, that is so kind of you, Yuri. And also it means that I can... Oh, and Pineapple Boy in there as well, but £2. Thank you very much for a big, beautiful day. Yeah, Pineapple, we are all looking forward to that very much. But in the meantime, we have hit the total, we've hit the goal. We've hit the goal in our totalizer. So I just want to say thank you so much for everyone who's chipped in towards this. And now I can release the confetti! Confetti! Lovely confetti. So that's pretty cool. Just going to move this a little bit. Yeah, it's all good. Thank you for the support. Pineapple Boy says Viper Scott. So yes, thank you everyone. Thank you. So yeah, also a new city was discovered this year in Peru, located 200 kilometers north of Lima, 600 meters above sea level. An ancient city of Penico was discovered. And it's close to Corral sites and from around 3000 BC. And the discovery may explain how coastal Andean and Amazon societies traded and interacted. So that would be quite cool. It's a whole. It's like a little mini. It's a mini Machu Picchu that was found, which is really cool. So there were some good news stories there. I mean, I would like more. I'd like loads more. The fact that some species have come back from the brink of extinction, the fact that the trend, if we look for trends, the trend is away from dirty, stinking, disgusting fossil fuels. The trend is towards that horrible man in Russia not winning in Ukraine ever, because he's not won so far. Can you believe that his 3-day special military project? It will be entering its 5th year on February the 24th. Its 5th year. Yeah. For his special military operation. I love confetti, says Veg Pie. Something we can agree on. Mr. Tis not letting me do a super chat. Oh, that's a bit rubbish. Well, if you want to give directly via PayPal, you can do that. If you look in the description of the video, there is a pay by PayPal option if you want to use that instead. So I'm going to head over now to the papers, the last papers of the year, the last paper review of the entire year, which is, both awesome because I don't have to look at the stupid papers, but for this year anymore. But sad as well because I'll have to look at them next year. So let's head over there now. We've got meddling judges take on Shamima case, and Shamima Begum's UK return bid was revived as Strasbourg judges challenged Britain's stance on the jihadi bride. Yes, I completely agree with her coming back and standing trial if necessary, but at the end of the day, she was a minor. Go away, Legacy James, whatever you are. And I don't think that she deserves to have her to have her British citizenship stripped from her for the reasons I gave yesterday when I was talking about this specific thing. I don't think it's fair that if you're brown or black, you can have your citizenship taken from you, whereas if you're white, you can't. I know those people from Europe who can have it as well, but usually it's the people. I think 95% of the people who have had their citizenship taken from them in the last 20 years have all been either from of Asian or African descent. So we're in AJ's corner. Family and friends rally around devastated star. This is about Anthony Joshua, who was in this horrific car crash in Nigeria that saw two of his very close friends killed. What a hoot. Mirror joins the party of the year where it's already 2026 because Hoot Nanny is pre-recorded. Is it pre-recorded? Oh no, I've ruined it for everyone now. Rail passengers not to travel for New Year after Eurostar chaos. Yeah, this is about the Eurostar. There was a problem in the tunnels yesterday, and in the Channel Tunnel, and as a result, everything went to shit, and everyone missed the New Year trip to the wonderful place of Disneyland, or just France, or just continental Europe in general. Thank you very much to Veg Pie, first of all, saying Happy New Year to Graham and everyone. Oh, thank you very much, Veg Pie. Happy New Year to you. And a phenomenal £20 super chat from Di Stanton. Thank you very much. You are very kind. Happy New Year, Graham and crew. Tar for helping keeping me sane in 2025. We do what we can. Even when I start going off on one about bloody architecture or something. New UK plan to target Russia spy ships in over undersea attacks. Over undersea. Wombling free. And then we've got over here, we've got The Making of Me. Famous people invite me to dinner parties, but I'm never asked back, by Adam K. Cool. And then over here we've got the Daily Mail. We've got The Truth About Fat Jab Side Effects by Top Crabbit, or whatever, fear-mongering as usual. Police facing ruin from Labour's soft justice crime wave. Forces set for £800 million bill from a plan to jail fewer criminals. And Sarah Vine, I know why the Ramseys snubbed the PTs. I don't know who the Ramseys are. Is that from Ramsey Street? Is that a Neighbours reference? I have no idea who these people are, and I don't want to know. I just really don't care. But while you're having a go at Labour, don't forget that 500 new ambulances are now in operation around the country. 500 brand new ambulances around the country, which is awesome, I think. If I'm right about that, I might be wrong. I've been wrong before. It was awful. Moving on, we've got the Times here. Britain lags with lowest investment across the G7. Reeves accused over rising costs for business. Because we've got lowest investment, but that's because of Brexit more than anything else. And there is the family spotlight with the sister of the Egyptian activist Alaa Abed El Fattah campaigning for his release alongside David Lammy, who was then Home Secretary in 2022. And now she's facing questions about her social media posts as well. Gas boiler owners face an annual fee to fund more heat pumps. I mean, the way they put this across, this is such a Murdoch rag thing to do, isn't it? Oh, you're going to go after people with gas boilers. So everyone with a gas boiler, I've got a gas boiler, you're going to make me pay more. Well, actually, no, it's not going to quite work like that. We already pay more for our energy bills. And one of the things that Labour are laser focused on at the moment is driving down bills, because they know that will be a vote winner if they drive down bills. So it's not necessarily that the bills for people who have gas boilers will go up, but it would mean that people who go for the heat pumps instead, the cost of their energy will go down. But the cost of your gas boiler might not necessarily go down because the price of your gas is set by Saddam Hussein, Idi Amin, Gaddafi, Robert Mugabe, Hitler, what's his name, Pol Pot, Pol fucking Pot, Salazar, Franco, Mussolini, Putin, Trump, Erdogan, Bolsonaro, Dirty Duterte, Orban. All them, they're the ones setting you, Mohammed bin Salman, they're the ones setting the price of your gas, whereas if you get a heat pump. Anyway, moving on, we've got down here, ministers sit on legally sound trans guidance. It's another pop at the trans community from the mayor.rag. The government is facing renewed pressure to publish delayed guidance on single-sex spaces after the new chair of the Equalities Commission, the Equalities Watchdog, insisted that the document was legally sound. The Equalities Watchdog, which isn't very equal because they really hate trans people for some stupid reason. Rising star. Neil Young. How's he a rising star? He's been around forever. Oh, sorry, from Jackson's nephew to the next Neil Young. Okay. So it's Michael. Is that Michael Jackson's nephew there in the middle? Oh my God. Nepo babies, we make our dreams come true. And this is the woman there on the right is Moana from the live action Moana. Joshua can only fight for the right reason. Okay, that's a bit weird headline there. Is that to do with the guy who was in a car crash? We got the Daily Telegraph here. Labour will wreck special forces. What like when we had who was that guy? Boris Johnson as Prime Minister, and he went around hanging out with KGB agents, giving them all the information about former SAS commanders. I don't know. They warn government against changes to combat immunity rules. Well, I mean, we all have to abide by international law when it comes to combat, and those laws are set by the Geneva Convention and other international agreements around the world of what you can do in combat and what you can't do. And when a British soldier does something that they shouldn't do in combat, they should be held to account like anyone doing any job. And I know it's a bit more difficult and a bit more stressful being a soldier, obviously. That's putting it mildly. But at the same time, no, they do have to follow the law. And we can't have a special two-tier system where if you commit a horrific crime while in someone else's country, as part of the British military, you're somehow let off. I don't think that's the way it should be. Thank you very much. Strip activists of citizenship now, Starmer told. Again, going back to this story we were talking about yesterday, which I think is a crock of old nonsense. And I just accidentally tapped on the screen there, which took me to the Telegraph page there. Not great. That's not what I wanted to do. Moving on, we've got Daily Star. Mum slams the Luke haters, give a little of respect. This guy who looks 47, but he's actually only 17. He's 18 now. And then we've got The Guardian here. Primary care crisis blamed as A&E visits for coughs and hiccups surge. Victim blaming again, I think. Millions are turning to A&E departments in England for minor ailments, including coughs, blocked noses and hiccups, according to data that health leaders say leads bear a failure to give patients prompt access to primary care. Well, yeah, I understand that, but people who go to the hospital for a blocked nose should be, I don't know, given special educational support. Maybe encouraged not to be a dickhead. Maybe they should encourage them not to be a dickhead anymore. Passengers face delays after Eurostar disruption, which I talked about earlier today. Activists will keep British citizenship, say sources. Yes, I assume that he will, because taking someone's citizenship off them isn't fair, because some people can have it taken off them and some people can't. It's not fair. Israel to ban dozens of aid agencies from Gaza. No surprise there. Israel being a bit shit, to say the least. And then we've got the Financial Times here. We've got the Financial Times writers predicting what's in store for 2026. Can AI dating apps find the way to true love? Sometimes I don't think so. I don't know. Dating apps have are great. Like, some people have done really well out of them, some people haven't done less well. But they're a tool that humans can use, and as with any tool, humans can use it for good or for bad. And unfortunately, there are some humans that try and use it for bad, and if they do, they should be thrown in jail. Card hoard. Where do all the boxes go? Well, I hope they go to be recycled, but who knows. Buyout groups sell assets to themselves at record rate amid low exit valuations. Got a story here. US law firms pay bonuses of $300,000 in fight to hire and keep star performers. And also, costs and regulations dim drone displays prospects. A record number of drone swarms creating spectacular light shows were held in the UK in the past year, but the phenomenon may be reaching its peak because of the high cost and increased regulation. I went to Disneyland earlier this year, and the drones were part of the fireworks show. It was really good. It was very, very cool. Drones, just another tool. You can use them for good, like displays, or you can use them for evil, like bombing things. Or you can use them for good, bombing things in Russia. Greetings from the rehab of Hot Springs, Arkansas, where the 10-story World War I Veterans Hospital is a huge haunted castle. Now abandoned since 2020, when Taco Tits shut it down and I play with the possums. Thank you very much. Happy enough for letting us know. Jamie says, well, it's a day that ends in Y, so of course they're harassing trans people for no reason. Yeah, absolutely. Well, they're told to do this by the oil companies, because the oil companies want us all fighting amongst ourselves. They made a list of things that divide people, no matter where their political stance is, and they're using that to great effect. They've sat round the table and they have decided that they will demonise, go after trans people. They will drive trans people to to real lows of depression. They will demonise and they will ostracise trans people from society in order to make their profits even bigger next year, because nothing matters more in this life than the profits of oil companies, clearly. Any rights taken away from any group removes rights from all of us. That is very true, Diz, as John Donne wrote in his poem, for whom the bell tolls. I forgot what the actual title of that poem is, but do not ask for who the bell tolls. It tolls for thee. I'm so tired of being the acceptable target of the entire effing media, says Gallifreyan Rent. Yeah, I'm sorry. I hate the fact that this is happening. I hate the fact that it's so transparent that these bad people are doing this on purpose to fuck shit up for good people, and for profit. They're not doing it for ideological reasons. They don't actually give a shit. They're not sitting there going, "Oh, women need these spaces to go and be safe," and a woman doesn't feel safe unless she's sitting in the bog of a happy eater. That's the safest place on earth, really, if you think about it. One Angry Pagan says 16,000 fossil footprints found in Argentina. Epic find, in my opinion. Wow. 16,000 fossil footprints. That is there were a lot of dinosaurs, weren't there? There must have been, for all the bones that we keep finding, because the vast majority of animals die without leaving any evidence that they ever lived. The hot springs haunting is in full bloom. I get a kick out telling folks about the colours being enhanced from the blood of tyrants. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave, like Hotel California. Yes, indeed. And Diz is saying, well, it's not acceptable to me. Yeah, I don't think it's acceptable to many people watching this channel. Hopefully not anyone watching this channel. The concerted effort by the richest people on the planet to target one of the most vulnerable minorities on the planet. But it's one of the reasons why we all need to stick together and we all need to support each other and help each other out through all this, because no one's going to come on over the hill on a white horse to rescue the day like Gandalf. It's up to us. It's up to us to kick up a stink, and that's what we need to do. So I'm going to head off now I've got to get back to Durham. God, it never ends. So last night after the show, I had to drive to a pub car park and charge the car for the trip back today. yeah, I will be heading off in a few hours' time. I might do a show tonight. I don't know. It depends. I don't think I'm going to do a show. I think I'm just going to have fun with the family. Watching Jules Holland, I guess. But if I do, look out for it. And the way to look out for it is to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe, thank you very much. And wait for... and then also hit the bell notification icon. If you do both of those things, then you will be given the access that you require to your phone buzzing if I decide to do a show. But the probability is I probably won't do a show tonight. So thank you so much for watching this year. Thank you for all your love and support, and thank you for all your lovely messages. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for everything that you've done to make this channel what it is. I hope you've had an all right 2025, because I know it's not been great for a lot of people. So I hope it's been I can't say I hope you had a good year, because I know that most of us didn't have a good year, but I hope it wasn't too terrible, and I hope that this channel and others making content here on the internet made it a little bit more bearable, and we will continue to do that into 2026. And let's just hope that things change for the better in many respects, but the long-term goals, the long-term trends are towards justice. They are towards doing something about climate change, whether the capitalists want us to do it, want it or not, whether the oil people want it or not. And we're now going to enter the 5th year of this war in Ukraine, and the Russians still haven't won because they are weak. They are incredibly weak. They haven't got the money. They haven't got the resources. They can't take over a small part of Ukraine and keep it, and long may that be the case, because I don't want them to ever take over someone else's country, because it's not right. Simple as that. It is not right. Safe journey, Graham. Hope New Year is a good one. Thanks very much, Saz. So I'll leave it on that note. Thank you so much for watching over the last year, and have a great Hogmanay, or whatever you're going to do. Lincoln Arms, singing Auld Lang Syne, and I will see you in the glorious future. I'll see you next year, tomorrow morning, 9 o'clock, for the first morning brew of 2026. And until then, I'd like to say hello, good evening, welcome, and goodbye.